And good morning, basketball fans, and welcome to another edition of Henley Basketball on 104.3 and 960 Sports and on mybasin.com. It is our final day in beautiful Sisters, Oregon, as the 3-5 Hornets get ready to take on the 6-4 Banks Braves. Glad to be with you this morning. My name is Josh Eldridge. Hornets coming off a loss yesterday to Junction City. 53-42 was the final score there. 11-point loss for the Hornets, coming off the back of another loss back on Thursday to Valley Catholic, 61-36. So Hornets here at the Sisters tournament right now are 0-2. Meantime, for Banks, look at their recent history. 1 win and 1 loss here in Sisters. They beat the host team on Thursday 54-51, but they lost yesterday to Taft 54-26. So both teams looking to right the ship today. Hornets looking to get back on the right track before they start a homestand against Lapine on Thursday. Banks trying to get ready for league play for themselves, which begins on a Wednesday. We'll take a deeper look at each of these teams, talk a little bit more about the game from yesterday, and get ready for starting lineups and tip-off. This is Henley Basketball on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
As a parent of a high school athlete, I've given up trying to get pictures of my kid playing sports. It's nearly impossible to take pictures and enjoy the game. There is a solution, though. God's Gifts Photography attends high school sporting events in the Basin to take individual and team action photos at a great price. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook to learn more. They'll come and capture your athlete in action, creating those frameable lifelong memories so you can watch and just enjoy the moment. Call 541-281-2206 to get your athlete on their schedule. God's Gifts Photography.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
At mybasin.com, we bring you the power of local radio,
the pace and reach of social media,
the information of 24-hour news,
and the excitement of local sports.
We do this with a team of radio professionals that is second to none.
Klamath Falls is a community that we love and a place that we are proud to call home.
Klamath Falls deserves a media group that is as committed to you as you are to Klamath Falls.
mybasin.com is your go-to place for news,
sports, events, and everything going on at home in Klamath.
Josh Eldridge back with you from Sisters, Oregon. The final day of the Sisters Shootout, and the Hornets looking to escape with at least 1 win. A couple of losses to begin the tournament. Most recently yesterday, a 53-42 loss to Junction City. Henley was trailing by 12 at halftime. They were able to get within 8 points in the third quarter, but Junction City, a very good basketball team, last year's state runner-up, just shut down the Hornets. They were led by Caden Schaefer with 20 points. Bryson Montag had a great first half. 11 points for the Hornets, was held mostly quiet in the second half. 15 points. He was Henley's leading scorer for the second day in a row at this tournament. And again, still looking for his other guys to help try to step up and score the basketball. Finn Charlton with a couple nice shots. Reese Schmerbach also had 6 points. So he just needs a little bit of help. And the Hornets, who play sound basketball, the issue for them at the beginning of the season has just been scoring. I've said it to just about everybody I've talked to about this team. You watch them, they look good. They're playing well. They're playing good defense. They're rebounding. They're just having trouble scoring. And if they're able to score today, they've got a good shot at beating a Banks team who enters play 6-4, coming off a season last year which I think was probably below expectations. This Banks team in 2022 made the state tournament. They lost in the consolation championship game, and then last year again about 500. This year they've started out well. They began the year 4-0. They won all 3 games at the Vernonia High School tournament They played Wilhelmina, beat them as well as St. Helens. They lost their first game to Valley Catholic. They then lost to Tillamook, followed that up with the win against Caboose, and then mixed in a couple wins and losses there to find themselves here at the Sisters Tournament, where, again, they beat the host team. They lost to Taft yesterday, and they're looking to go home happy as well. And not a lot of history between Henley and Banks. Their most recent meeting was actually at this tournament in 2022, a game in which Banks beat Henley 44-41. As a matter of fact, all time, Banks is 6-1 against the Henley Hornets. You got to go all the way back to 10 years ago today, the last time that the Hornets have beat the Braves. It was a 62-37 win for Henley on January 4th, 2014. Not a whole lot of meetings since then, obviously. Banks did used to be a 4A school since they dropped down to 3A a couple of seasons ago. They haven't met outside of this tournament, but Banks, a rich history of athletic programs. In fact, their school is the most recent school to win the Triple Crown, baseball, basketball, and football state championships. That came in 2018. Obviously, those kids far graduated now, but still a lot of pride with this Banks program as they look to finish the Sisters Tournament here happy. As we're just a couple of minutes away from tip-off. We're going to take one more break here on the pregame show. When we come back, I'll introduce you to the starting lineups for today's game, and we'll get ready for tip-off. This is Henley Basketball on 104.3 and 960 Sports. You've also got it live for free on mybasin.com.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place home. And then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Well, it's our final day here in Sisters off Highway 20 in Oregon. Josh Eldridge back with you and taking the drive in today. A little bit of snow on the ground, but it's always beautiful. I have shared this with a couple people. I'm surprised from the area who didn't know this drive on Highway 20. It's actually the longest highway in America, over 3,300 miles. It goes through 10 states, starts in Newport, Oregon, goes all the way across to Boston, Massachusetts, and just a great drive coming in here for a great day of basketball ahead of us. Banks Braves taking on our Henley Hornets. Let's introduce you to the starting lineups for both teams, and we'll start with Henley. Starting a senior, number 4, Bryson Montag. Number 12, a junior, Reese Schmerbach. Number 22, a senior, Finn Charlton. Number 24, another senior, Nolan Mick. And number 32, a sophomore, Corbin Hamilton. The Hornets, of course, coached by Brian Stock. He's assisted by Dylan Woodrum and Blake Loney. Now the starting 5 for the Banks Braves. Number 3, a senior, Noel Mayo. Number 10, a senior, David Markham. Number 12, a senior, Braden Exline. Number 14, a senior, Max Walker. Number 22, a sophomore, Fisher King. The Braves are coached by Pat Marlia, and he's assisted by Dalton Renee and Kyle King. And we are ready for basketball. The Hornets designated the visitor today, and they control the opening tip. They go from left to right. And here we go. Into the hands of Finn Charlton on the right wing. Kicks it to Mick on the baseline. Mick driving inside. Bounces it to Montag on the left block, and he's too strong on the lay-in. Rebound is picked up by the Hornets. Kicked out to Schmerbach. Head fakes a three. Now kicks it back out to Mick. Mick now to Charlton. Charlton has it straight away. He's guarded by Markham. Now kicks it over to Mick. Mick into the far corner to Schmerbach. Back to Mick. Has it head of the key. Can't corral the pass, but saves it from going over and back. The Hornets with 20 to shoot, into the hands now of Schmerbach on the far side. Schmerbach throws it to Mick. Mick whips it in the corner to Charlton. Charlton against this Banks zone that they've started into this game with. Charlton back after passing it to Hamilton. Tries to drive inside at the right elbow. Stops, pops, shoots, misses. Rebound is collected by Mayo, and here come the Braves for their first possession of the ball game. All the way in is King. Too strong on the lane, and Montag cleans up the miss. Now Charlton brings it up for the Hornets. Lofts it underneath to Mick. Pump fakes. Gets the defender to jump. Too strong on the layup. Rebound is picked up by X-Line, and now here come the Braves. Braves in their white uniforms today. They've got stripes down their side. Henley in their road yellow uniforms with Henley written across the chest. Now to the corner to Mayo. No, pardon me, that's actually X-Line. The pass intended inside for Walker's poked away, but Braves recollects. Here's X-Line kicking it outside to Mayo. Mayo cutting up the defense, gets stopped inside, hounded by three Hornets, but finally gets the ball back outside to Markham. Markham now to the hands of X-Line, guarded by Montag. X-Line drives the right side, goes with the right-handed floater, too strong. Rebound is picked up by King underneath for the putback, and the Braves score first. They lead now 2-0. Henley coming the other way, ball goes out of bounds. Possession should stay with the Hornets. And it will. Hornets got it. It'll be Reese Schmerbach to inbound to Finn Charlton in the backcourt. He gives it back to Reese. Reese puts it on the deck. Has it now headed the key to Charlton. Charlton backs out, hands it to Mick. Mick now on the left wing. Mick trying to go inside, guarded tightly on the far side by Markham. A pass intended for Schmerbach is broken up by Mayo. I think Mayo's going to be hit with a foul there. And he is. Second team foul for the Braves. 6:02 to go in the first quarter, and Banks leads Henley 2-0. Schmerbach kicks it to Mick on the far side. Mick fields a double team. Now Hamilton at the free throw line. Mid-range jumper's good. Hamilton ties us up at 2. 5:50 to go in the first quarter. Henley pressing a bit on defense here. Montag tries to hassle the pass into the front court, but it's now into the hands of X-Line on the right block. Goes baseline. His shot is bothered by Montag. Bryson's actually going to wind up fouling him here, so Braden X-Line going to the free throw line for the Banks Braves. The senior getting his first look. Misses his first. Banks fell behind big in the first quarter yesterday in their loss to Taft, 54-26. They were able to play Taft fairly even through the middle part of that game, but Taft again extended that and wound up with their fairly large win. But Banks showed flashes yesterday of what they can bring. Now they lead by 1 after a split trip to the line. Here's Finn Charlton on the other side. Charlton has it on the left extended wing, gets it to Hamilton on the left elbow. Hamilton brings it back out beyond the arc. Now back to Charlton, head of the key, lofts it near side to Schmerbach. Schmerbach puts it on the deck. Again, a soft double team from Banks in this zone, playing 3-2 high. Here's Charlton. Charlton kicks it into the corner to Hamilton. Hamilton fakes a drive, moves left, goes up from the mid-range, tries to use the glass, can't get it to go, and the rebound goes to Walker. Now it's X-Line with it straight away, throws it on the far side to Markham. Markham has it right side wing. Markham throws it near side to Mayo. Mayo guarded by Mick. Mick now throws it into the corner to X-Line. X-Line dumps it underneath to King, goes strong to the cup and scores. Banks now up 5-2 after Fisher King now with 4 points. Here's Corbin Hamilton. He'll cross the timeline for Henley, skip it ahead to Charlton. Charlton brings it into the near corner, throws it to Mick. Now Hamilton far side. Hamilton drives inside, tries to get the pass to Montag, but it's intercepted by X-Line. Great outlet pass into the front court to Mayo, and the Banks Braves on a fast break score 2 more. And that's going to call Henley a timeout. The score right now 7-2. Banks in front, 4:27 to go in the first quarter. This is Henley basketball on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
When you buy tires at Les Schwab, you're getting more than just tires. You're getting America's best tire warranty, 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tires. So if something happens to your tire on the road, we'll fix it, or we'll replace it, no questions asked. Other places make you pay extra for that kind of protection, but at Les Schwab, it's included with every set of tires, because more warranty means less worry, and nobody stands by their tires like Les Schwab.
Josh Eldridge back with you for Henley boys basketball. The Henley Lady Hornets are also playing right now. They're playing Valley Catholic. You can watch that game on mybasin.com with Matt Bowling. But here in the boys game, the Banks Braves lead 7-2. And 4:20 to go in the first quarter. The Hornets have the basketball. A couple of subs coming in. Carson Sims, Micah Ibarra have checked in for the Hornets. Here's Bryson Montag driving baseline, kicks it into the corner for Sims. 3, too short. And the rebound is battled for underneath, but picked up by Markham. Markham brings it along the near side. He'll double dribble. Sims pressing here at half court, forces the double dribble, and the Hornets get possession of the basketball back right in front of us. The small gym here in Sisters, only about 3 rows of bleachers, so apologize for the camera angle. Kind of tough to get everything in all at once. Doing our best. Here's Ibarra. Ibarra at about half court, throws it to Sims on the left wing. Now Ibarra. Ibarra throws it to Sims, now into Montag in the far corner. Montag puts it on the deck, hands it back to Sims. Sims brings it around, head of the key, now into the hands of Schmerbach. Schmerbach throws it to Ibarra on the right side, back to Schmerbach, whips it to Sims. Second look from distance, that time he hits. Carson Sims knocks down a triple, brings the Hornets within 2. 7-5, 3:34 to go in the first quarter. Banks trying to get down the floor on the other side. Mayo misses the lay-in underneath the cup, and the rebound's picked up by Montag. Now to the hands of Ibarra. Ibarra brings it up, head of the key, throws it to Schmerbach. Schmerbach on the left side wing. Now to Sims in the corner. Sims left unguarded for 3 again. Off the front of the rim. Now into the hands of Montag. And he tried to get it out to Schmerbach, but that pass intercepted by Mayo. Mayo on the far side is going to be fouled by Schmerbach. Sims hitting his first triple today a moment ago. That's got to feel good. He missed quite a few yesterday. He finished yesterday with 4 points in Henley's loss, but starting to feel that touch. Sometimes all you need to do is see it go in. And for that was it for Carson. Let's see if he can try to carry on through. Corbin Hamilton with 2 points for himself. There's your Henley 5. They trail right now by 2. 3:08 to go in the first quarter. Here's King. King on the extended arc. Now into the hands of, well, let's see. Is that 23? Don't have a 23 on the roster. I'll try to get that for you in just a moment. Here's Mayo, and the pass is taken out of bounds. All right, got Jarrett Martin for number 23 for Banks. Appreciate the X-Line family sitting in front of me. And here we go, back with Henley basketball. Here into the hands of Schmerbach. Schmerbach throws it over to Ibarra. Now into the hands of Montag. Ibarra has it on the wing, dribbles past the defender at the left elbow, throws it back outside to Montag. Montag driving the right side, kicks it out to Brunick, who's checked in. Brunick one step inside the arc. Mid-range is left short, and the rebound goes out of bounds. And it'll be Banks basketball. So again, Jared Martin is checked into the game. We're going to have some subs for Henley as well. It looks like we'll just reset the full 5 out there for you. It's Ibarra, Sims, Hamilton, Charlton, and Brunick. Henley pressing, has a man trapped at half court, and a foul is going to be called. They're going to call that foul against Sims. That's the Henley's 3rd team foul, I believe. 5 on the floor out there for Banks. It's Jared Martin, Brandon X-Line out there with Fisher King and Luke Bigsby. And Sims tips it out of bounds, out of the hands of X-Line, but it goes out. Banks will maintain possession. And we're going to have to fix the shot clock. We'll see if they even started it after that possession. It's been kind of a running theme this weekend is the shot clock having to be fixed here at Banks. It's only the second year we've had it in Oregon, but this tournament's probably the most we've had to fiddle with it since we've had the shot clock instituted. Well, while we have a moment, we'll remind you that today's broadcast on MyBasin.com is brought to you by Gino's Cafe on East Main Street in Klamath Falls. They're open every morning at 6:30, serving their famous breakfast burritos. Those are served all day long, along with other menu items like burgers, monthly specials, and Italian favorites. Check them out online at iloveginos.com. Back into the action, it's Martin with it. Martin now over to X-Line on the far side. X-Line is going to travel. Hornets bench erupts at some solid defense out there on the wing, and now they get the basketball back, trailing by 2. 1:53 to go in the first quarter. Here's Sims with it now. Sims whips it to Ibarra. Ibarra now on the far side. Ibarra spins around the defender, dribbles it up. He's guarded tightly by Martin. Loses the ball, picks it back up. Now he's trapped in the corner. There's going to be a tie-up, and possession is going to favor Banks. Martin to inbound. Oh, pardon me. It's going to be X-Line to inbound for the Braves. And here we go. 1:40 to go in the first quarter. Banks leads by 2. Here's Martin. Hornets continuing to press. It's worked for him here in the first quarter. Back to Martin. Martin skips it ahead to King. King driving underneath. A nice pass to Bigsby. His layup is offline. King follows it up with the board, puts it back up and in. Fisher King with 6 points, and his Braves lead 9-5 with 1:22 to go in the first quarter. Here's Ibarra. Ibarra gets around 2 defenders, driving inside, switches to his left hand, kicks it outside to Hamilton, now over to Charlton. Charlton on the right wing, back into the hands of Hamilton. Hamilton goes baseline, mid-range jumper no, and the rebound is picked up by Bigsby. Here comes Banks. Banks lofts it underneath to King, and a great outlet pass. His layup is missed. Bigsby gets the miss. He misses again, and a held ball tie-up is going to give the Hornets possession. Good defense underneath. Finn Charlton in on that action. I believe Corbin Hamilton was as well. Couple of subs in for Banks. Let's see. It looks like this is the first we're seeing of Ben Baliga. Here's Ibarra. Ibarra pressured at half court and turns it over. Martin's going to take it all the way in and score. And a pass into the front court intended for Hamilton, resulted in another Henley turnover. Martin has it now on the right side. Martin now throws it into the hands of Baliga in the corner, guarded by Charlton. Charlton back to Martin. Martin now over to X-Line. X-Line trying to split the defense, kicks it out to Baliga, gets a head fake, defender to jump, loses it on the drive, recollects, turns around, shoots and scores. First points for Ben Baliga and the Hornets, now facing a press of their own, down by 8. Pass goes ahead to Charlton, now to Ibarra, but again it's tipped away, but Brunick gets it right back. Brunick now to Ibarra. Ibarra trying to drive inside, brings it back out beyond the arc, 3 to shoot, now to Charlton. Charlton has to get a shot off, he does, a long 3, can't hit. And we will end the first quarter, Henley trailing 13-5. The second quarter's up next. This is Henley basketball on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
Wait, all I do is wait. So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home...
Second quarter begins now. Hornets trailing 13-5. They turned the ball over at the end of that first quarter, 3 consecutive possessions, and it led to 3 Banks lay-ins. And now it's going to be the Banks Braves who start with possession of the basketball. Hornets have pressured on defense, not allowing Banks a whole lot of room. And they're doing it still here to start this second quarter. Pass goes into Martin in the far corner. Back out to X-Line. X-Line now on the right wing. X-Line guarded by Charlton. Brings it up close to the perimeter, then kicks it outside to Martin. Martin guarded by Montag. Skips it underneath to Bigsby. Bigsby guarded by Hamilton is going to travel, trying to get around Corbin. And so Hornets forcing a turnover there, getting the ball back. 7:41 to go in the second quarter. They trail by 8. Inbound pass now to Nolan Mick. Back to Charlton. Back to Mick. Hornets beat the press. Now Mick into the hands of Charlton. Charlton has it now on the right wing. Over to Schmerbach. Schmerbach now straight away. Schmerbach kicks it to Charlton near side. Charlton has it poked free by Martin for a moment. Now over to Mick. Mick trying to drive all the way in. Uses the window to score. Nolan Mick with his first bucket of the ball game. And Banks moving quickly into the other side. Martin gets the pass underneath and too strong on the lay-in. Bigsby with the board. His shot is offline. And loose ball is kicked out into the hands of X-Line. A long rebound. Tries to bring it all the way in. Kicks it out to Bigsby. Bigsby on the right block. Guarded by Mick. Reverse lay-in and he scores. Bigsby's a big body to try to keep off that glass. He gets his first 2 points here and his team leads back again by 8. 6:49 to go in the second quarter. Here into the hands of Montag. Montag with it straight away. Drives in. Kicks it outside to Hamilton for 3. He connects. Henley now trailing by 5. Big time triple for Corbin. Now 6.5 to go in the second quarter. Now to the far side for Banks. Pass goes underneath to Baliga. He's fouled. A couple of free throws coming up for the junior from Banks. As a team so far, Banks is 1 of 2 at the line. Henley has yet to shoot free throws. It was kind of a running theme yesterday against Junction City. Henley did not get to the line very much against the Tigers. And again, I said it yesterday on the broadcast, but it wasn't due to poor officiating, them letting Henley get bumped. Henley's just less aggressive on these takes from time to time, and it results in less free throws. Meantime, Banks getting the ball underneath, trying to get guys to jump and then go up strong with it, results in free throws for themselves. Baliga missed his first. He's got his second one on the way. That one is also offline, but Martin grabs the rebound, goes back up with it. High arcing shot falls, and Banks back up by 7 after that make from Jared Martin. Now Montag with it. Montag to Schmerbach, back to Montag. He tries to get it to Mick in the corner. Mick dribbles in and kicks it back out to Schmerbach. Schmerbach trapped in the corner, now into the hands of Charlton. Charlton dribbles into a 3, too strong. Rebound is collected by Banks. Outlet pass to Martin, has it knocked away by Charlton. Martin now trying to go baseline against Charlton. Bodies him. That should be a charge. Oh, a blocking foul. Yikes. Jared Martin extending his right arm, but getting away with one there. And Banks will inbound at the baseline. Here's Mayo. Mayo inbounds to Bigsby. Bigsby throws it to Martin. Martin guarded on the left wing by Montag. Montag pressuring him. Now here's Mayo. Mayo guarded by Hamilton right in front of us. Tried to loft it down to Bigsby, but Mick tipped it into the hands of Montag. Now ahead to Charlton. Charlton brings it on the far side. Throws it to Mick well beyond the arc. Head of the key. Now over to Charlton. Charlton zips it down to Hamilton. Turnaround J is in. Corbin Hamilton. He's got 7 points, forces Banks to call timeout. Henley trailing by 5. 5:39 to go in the second quarter. This is Henley basketball on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions. Your trusted partner in marketing.
And before we can get going, it looks like a quick stoppage as we welcome you back to Henley basketball. Right now, the Hornets trailing by 5 with 5:39 to go in the second quarter. It's 17-12, and whatever the issue was seems to have resolved itself. Here's Markham to inbound for Banks. He's going to bounce it to Mayo. Mayo guarded by Mick. Kicks it back over to Markham, now back to Mayo. Mayo's going to be the one to cross the time stripe for the Banks Braves, and he loses it for a moment, guarded by Mick, but recollects. He's guarded well beyond the arc, takes a screen going right. Mayo splits up the defense, loses it, and is going to be fouled. And here's Mayo to inbound after another foul picked up by the Hornets. They've got 3 this period and none so far for Banks. Micah Ibarra getting ready to check in for Nolan Mick. Here's Mayo to inbound. Mayo trying to find a man open underneath. Instead, he's going to loft it, head of the key to Markham. Now to the hands of Markham on the Martin on the left wing, and a foul is going to be charged against Banks as Corbin Hamilton tried to get in and steal the ball from Martin. Martin certainly pushed him off that time. It looked awfully similar to the play from earlier, but this time Hornets getting the benefit of the doubt. Ibarra to inbound, and he will be the one to bring it up for Henley. Banks relenting on the press a little bit. Now here's Sims. Sims throws it back to Montag. Now over to Schmerbach. Schmerbach bounces it to Ibarra on the wing. Ibarra one step inside the arc. Finds Montag in the corner for 3. Too strong. The rebound is picked up by King. King rifles it ahead to Martin underneath. Goes strong to the rim and scores. Martin now with 6 points for himself, and his team leads by 7. Here's Sims with it now in the front court for Henley. Throws it back over to Hamilton. Hamilton back to Sims in the corner. Sims kicks it over to Ibarra. Ibarra slicing up the defense, driving inside. He is going to travel. Goes up with the shot. Meta body comes back down, and he's going to be traveling. Hey. Here's X-Line to inbound for Banks. Henley continuing to press on defense, just making life hard for Banks. The flip side of that, though, is that on a miss, Banks has been able to get out in transition pretty easily. But here setting up the defense, Henley's been good. Now Martin with it on the far side. Martin has it backed out beyond the arc. Kicks it now near side to Markham. Markham guarded by Ibarra. Throws it back over to X-Line. X-Line in the corner to Martin. Martin tries to bounce it underneath the King, but it's poked away. The Hornets have it. Now here's Hamilton. Hamilton brings it up. Hamilton stops at the perimeter, throws it to Montag on the right block. Gets it back to Hamilton, give and go and score. Corbin Hamilton now with 9 points. And the Hornets now only trail by 5. 4:02 to go in the second quarter. And a charge again, charge to Markham, extending the arm. Banks has been getting away with that a little bit in the first quarter, now getting whistled for it in the second. It's 19-14, Henley with the ball, and we're going to have timeout. We'll take it. Brian Stock calling time. Again, the score 19-14, Banks leads, 4 minutes to go in the first half. Henley basketball next on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
At MyBasin.com, we bring you the power of local radio,
The pace and reach of social media,
The information of 24-hour news,
and the excitement of local sports.
We do this with a team of radio professionals that is second to none.
Klamath Falls is a community that we love and a place that we are proud to call home.
Klamath Falls deserves a media group that is as committed to you as you are to Klamath Falls.
MyBasin.com is your go-to place for news,
sports, events, and everything going on at home in Klamath.
(19-14) the score. Banks leads with 3:49 to go in the first half. Corbin Hamilton leading the Hornets right now with 9 points. He's had quite the first half so far, but the Hornets still trailing by 5. Jared Martin and Fisher King each with 6 for Banks. But the Hornets will start with possession of the basketball coming out of our break. They'll inbound in front of their own bench. It's Ibarra, Schmerbach, Sims, Hamilton, and Montag coming out of the break for Henley. Ibarra with it. Ibarra brings it all the way up. Now over to Schmerbach. Schmerbach kicks it to Montag. Montag back to Schmerbach. With it to Sims on the left wing. Now over to Ibarra. Ibarra guarded tightly. Now Schmerbach in the corner for 3. It's good. Hornets now down by 2 after that triple from Reese Schmerbach. 3:35 to go in the first half. Here's X-Line. X-Line trying to go right with it, and a push is going to be charged to, I believe, Sims. Henley's 4th team foul, so Banks will be shooting free throws the rest of the way. Next one puts him in the bonus. Inbound into the backcourt to Markham. Markham, guarded by Ibarra, bounces it underneath to X-Line. X-Line picked up by Hamilton, head of the key, gets it to King beyond the arc. King now kicks it into the corner, back to Martin. Martin has it on the left wing, back to X-Line. X-Line trying to go left with it, steps back beyond the arc, kicks it to Walker, and a turnover. Tried to do a little give and go to Walker, back to X-Line, but Banks turns it over. And the Hornets will have possession and a chance to tie here with 3 minutes to go in the second half. Here's Ibarra to inbound to Schmerbach. Schmerbach to Ibarra, now back to Sims. Sims back to Ibarra. Hornets just passing back and forth, trying to beat the press, taking their time. Now here's Schmerbach, bounces it to Hamilton. Hamilton for 3 for the lead, can't hit. Schmerbach with the rebound, back to Ibarra for 3. Micah too strong, and the rebound picked up by X-Line on the far side. X-Line rifles the pass ahead. It is tipped out of bounds by Ibarra, but he tipped it out from what would otherwise be an easy layup for Markham. So now Banks a chance to set up on their own baseline. Pass goes to Walker. Walker outside to X-Line, now to the hands of Markham. Markham brings it left. Now in the corner to Mayo. Mayo has trouble with the pass at first, then gets it back. Mayo now picked up by Montag. Brings it around, and Montag is going to foul him. That's going to give free throws to Noel Mayo. Mayo's first free throws of the game on the way, but as a team so far, Banks just 1 of 4 at the line. Mayo does have 2 points, the senior taking his first shot. It's good. Nolan Mick checking into the game for Bryson Montag. Second free throw coming up for Noel Mayo. That one is good. A couple of made free throws for Banks makes it 21-17. Henley trailing, 2.5 to go in the second quarter. Hamilton has it. Hamilton kicks it to Ibarra. Ibarra now near side to Schmerbach. Back to Ibarra. Ibarra steps into a triple, too strong, and the rebound goes to Walker. Here's X-Line now. X-Line brings it all the way up. Now King is, well, we're going to have to wait for a whistle. Let's see. I think it was a whistle away from the ball. It's going to be X-Line going to the line. And so it must have been away from the ball because King had the ball. And so X-Line shooting 2 free throws. He's 1 of 2 in his previous trip. Misses his first. X-Line's second free throw is good. Back up to a 5-point advantage for Banks, 22-17, 2:12 to go in the second quarter. Hornets trying to beat the press. Here's Hamilton, throws it ahead to Ibarra. Ibarra trapped at half court, has to get rid of it. Henley's going to call timeout. We'll stick with you through this timeout. 22-17 the score, 2:04 to go in the second quarter. Just got a score update from the Lady Hornets basketball game as well. Henley's up 29-21, 4:29 left to go in the second quarter. That game is also being streamed on mybasin.com, and you can check it out. Matt Bowling on the call there. Just a brief moment to remind you today's broadcast is brought to you in part by Abby's Legendary Pizza. If you're looking for a great place to eat, head to one of Abby's Legendary Pizza locations for some of the best pizza in the Klamath Basin at 1919 Austin Street or 2226 Shalleck Street near OIT. Abby's Legendary Pizza is a proud supporter of high school sports. Henley to start with the basketball coming out of the break. Inbound pass goes into the backcourt to Schmerbach. Schmerbach is going to kick it on the far side to Sims. Now back to Schmerbach. Schmerbach back to Sims on the left wing. Back to Schmerbach, head of the key. Schmerbach puts it on the deck. Has it high above his head now. Throws it to Ibarra. Back to Schmerbach. Kicks it to Sims. Sims trying to get some room inside. Then lofts it high to Schmerbach. Back to half court. 6 to shoot for the Hornets. They got to find a shot. Here's Ibarra with it on the wing. Back to Schmerbach. To Sims. He's got to shoot for 3. Got it! 6 points for Sims, brings the Hornets back within 2. 1:30 to go in the first half. Here's Mayo. Mayo loses it for a moment, but recollects, and then Sims is going to foul, trying to reach for the basketball. Oh, they're actually going to charge the foul to Schmerbach there. And regardless, it's going to lead to free throws for Noel Mayo. He's got 4 points today, was 2 for 2 in his previous trip to the line. Free throw is good. Second free throw coming up for Mayo. That free throw is also good. Perfect trip to the line for Mayo. Puts Banks back up in front by 4, and now they're pressing Henley. Ibarra throws it ahead to Sims. Sims back to Ibarra. Ibarra gives it back to Sims. Sims trying to split the defense, kicks it back out to Schmerbach. Now into the hands of Hamilton. Hamilton throws it to Ibarra ahead of the key. Now back to Schmerbach. Schmerbach tries to drive around the defense, and a foul. Let's see. Foul goes against Banks. I'm unsure of the call exactly. Might have been a block. Either way, Ibarra to inbound on the baseline. He will try to get it to Hamilton, but easily taken away by Walker, and now Banks trying to bring it up. Banks bringing it all the way in. X-line back out beyond the arc on the far side, guarded by Sims. X-line right in front of the Henley bench. Throws it over to Mayo. Mayo driving the right side. Goes inside, and a charge! Carson Sims stands in and takes the harm. 46 seconds to go in the second quarter, and charging in are the Banks Braves. Banks' next foul sends Henley to the bonus. And waiting to inbound. Let's see, maybe some subs coming in. Yeah, we're going to see Martin check in for Banks, and Mayo goes to the bench. Inbound pass goes to Sims. Sims back to Schmerbach, now to Ibarra. Ibarra back to Schmerbach, has yet to cross half court, now into the hands of Ibarra, into the front court. Here's Mick. Mick, left alone in the corner for a moment, dribbles around the defender, kicks it to Sims in the corner. Can he do it again? No, back iron, and the rebound goes to Walker. Walker now to Martin. Martin throws it now to X-Line. X-Line has it, head of the key, guarded by Sims. Shot clock is off, 18 seconds. X-Line has to go right with it. Picked up by Hamilton. Driving inside, and a foul. They're going to say it's an offensive foul, I believe. Nope, this is going to be a foul against Hamilton, and so X-Line will go back to the line. Braden X-Line today, he is 2 of 4. He's taken free throws 5 and 6 here. First one's good. All of X-Line's points today have been at the line. And a chance at another. 12 seconds on the game clock before halftime. Henley might have an opportunity to create a shot if they can collect a miss or set up something off an inbound. Here's X-Line's second free throw. It's good. 26-20. And sub coming in for Banks. It's Eli Walker checking in for Braden X-Line. And Nolan Mick to inbound for the Hornets. Banks pressing. They're going to try to make it hard for Henley to get this shot off. Inbound pass is going to be lofted ahead to Sims. Sims has it in transition, loses the dribble for a moment, kicks it back out. Mick goes baseline, up off the glass, no. Gets his own miss and follows it in with another. Loose ball, kicked out. Sims had it for a moment but loses it. And that will end the first half. Henley trailing 26-20 against the Banks Braves in day 3 of the Sisters Shootout. We'll be back with a couple of halftime stats. We'll try to check in on the Henley Lady Hornets, and we'll get you all ready for the third quarter. That's coming up next as we continue your coverage of Henley basketball today on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
As a parent of a high school athlete, I've given up trying to get pictures of my kid playing sports. It's nearly impossible to take pictures and enjoy the game. There is a solution though. God's Gifts Photography attends high school sporting events in the Basin to take individual and team action photos at a great price. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook to learn more. They'll come and capture your athlete in action, creating those frameable lifelong memories so you can watch and just enjoy the moment. Call 541-281-2206 to get your athlete on their schedule. God's Gifts Photography.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and little league teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
At mybasin.com, we bring you the power of local radio,
The pace and reach of social media,
The information of 24-hour news,
and the excitement of local sports.
We do this with a team of radio professionals that is second to none.
Klamath Falls is a community that we love and a place that we are proud to call home.
Klamath Falls deserves a media group that is as committed to you as you are to Klamath Falls.
mybasin.com is your go-to place for news,
sports, events, and everything going on at home in Klamath.
Josh Eldridge back with you from Sisters High School. It is the final day at the Sisters Shootout. The Hornets trailing the Banks Braves 26-20. We'll go down the leading scorers, and we'll start with the team in front, the Banks Braves. 6 points from each Noel Mayo, Jared Martin, and Fisher King, each of those guys with 6 points. They've got 4 from Braden Exline and 2 from Ben Baliga and Luke Bigsby. For the Henley Hornets, they are led in scoring by Corbin Hamilton with 9 points. Carson Sims has 6, 3 for Reese Schmerbach, and 2 for Nolan Mick. Both teams pressed quite a bit on defense, forced the other to make a mistake or two, but Banks has found a way to just hit a couple more shots and make more free throws. Right now, Banks with, 4, 5, 6, 7 made free throws, and that's partially your difference. Henley has yet to have a trip to the line. And again, I said this at the beginning of the broadcast. I said this yesterday. Henley really not getting aggressive into the paint to earn themselves these free throws, these trips to the line that teams like Banks, some of these bigger teams, are able to do. Some of that has to do with Henley's size disadvantage against a team like Banks, but they're just not getting to the line. They are sinking a couple more shots than they did yesterday. They made 4 3-pointers in that first half, 1 from Corbin, 2 from Carson Sims, and 1 from Reese Schmerbach. So they're starting to hit him from downtown a little bit. It's what's kept them in this game. Henley looking to continue that trend, I'm sure. As again, I mentioned yesterday, a loss to Junction City. That's a good ball club. They lost by 11 to last year's state runner-up. 53-42 is the final. But the loss on Thursday, I think, probably left the nasty taste in their mouth. 61-36 loss to Valley Catholic to begin this event. Again, they played better yesterday. They're playing even better today, and that's what this season is about for this young Hornets team, right? They've only got a handful of seniors, most of these guys with little to no varsity experience. It's about getting better each and every game, and I think even though the Hornets are below 500 right now and trailing in the first half of this one, I think I can honestly say it feels like they have gotten better each and every game, and that's the goal for Brian Stock's team. Meantime, for Banks, they are trying to reverse course. A couple years ago in 2022-23, they were actually at the state tournament. They won the consolation championship game, an unblemished league record. They went 12-0. They lost 5 games all season long and won the consolation bracket last year. Not the same story. A 500 Banks Braves team missed the playoffs, but this year they've started 6-4. They started 4-0, and they also have wins against Scappoose and Sisters, the host team at this event, back on Thursday, although they did lose yesterday to Taft 54-26. So they're looking to right the ship as well, and so far they've done it at the free throw line, and they've done it by dominating in the paint. A lot of big bodies: Fisher King, Luke Bigsby, Jared Martin, big guys to keep off the glass, and that's been the challenge for the Hornets today. Check in on the Lady Hornets, who are playing Valley Catholic right now. If I get another score update from them, I will share it with you. But the last I saw was that with 4:29 left to go in the second quarter, the Lady Hornets were leading 29 to... Oh, well, they were, but now, here we go. New updated score for halftime. The Henley Lady Hornets leading Valley Catholic 38 to 31. So up by 7 for Henley, who is 2-0 at this tournament. A win yesterday against Caldera, a win on the first day against the Banks Braves as well. So Henley girls looking to wind up undefeated at this Sisters Shootout. The Henley boys still looking for their first win at this event. Right now trailing 26 to 20. A couple of other things going on around the Klamath Basin. How about last night? The Oregon Tech Lady and Hustlin' Owls coming away with home wins at Danny Miles Court. The women's basketball team defeated Northwest 82 to 42, while the men outlasted Northwest 85 to 56. Congratulations to the Oregon Tech teams for grabbing a couple home wins. They're back in action today, and you can hear them on this station. The Lady Owls tipping it up at 3 o'clock against Evergreen State. At 3 o'clock, you can hear the pregame at 2:30 with Mike Safford, and then coming up at 5, the men take on the Gooey Ducks from Evergreen State at 5 o'clock. You can hear that game over on Oregon's Country Giant, 92.5 KLAD. But hey, better than that, show up to Danny Miles Court and watch some great basketball. It is a lot of fun up at Danny's house. Back here in Sisters, though, again, Henley trails by 6. The score 26 to 20. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll be ready for the third quarter in just a few minutes. This is Henley Basketball on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
Wait, all I do is wait. So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Well, we're just wrapping up halftime here in Sisters. Henley trails Banks 26 to 20. Both teams taking their time getting back out onto the floor. Clearly lots to discuss for both Pat Marlia's squad and Brian Stock's team for the Henley Hornets. And well, I would have to say I agree with them. Both teams pressed on defense in that first half. Both teams on offense struggled to beat the other team's press. So quite a bit strategically to work on for both of these squads that played pretty tight in that first half. Like I said, a couple of the things to keep track of here moving forward. Banks free throws, again, they just have more opportunities at the line. Henley has yet to shoot a free throw. But to make up for that, Henley's knocking down the three ball today. Brees Schmerbach has one. Carson Sims has two. Corbin Hamilton also has a make. He's leading the team in scoring right now with 9 points. So even if Henley isn't able to get to the free throw line as much, if they can keep it consistent from downtown, they've got a chance to stick around in this one and make it close in the second half. Just a couple of seconds away from the start of the third quarter. We'll have tomorrow and Monday off of Henley basketball before the Hornets return to the nest on Tuesday. They'll be taking on Lapine before beginning league play on Thursday on the road at Pell Court. Can't think about that, though. Got to focus on this one here against Banks. A 3A team, used to be a 4A squad. These teams haven't played since 2022 at this event. Banks has won the last 6 meetings between themselves and the Hornets. You got to go back a decade ago to find the last time Henley has defeated the Banks Braves. It was on this day in 2014, so 11 years, really. The last time Henley beat the Braves. They're looking to do it again. Hornets will start with the basketball coming out to start the third quarter. It's Schmerbach, Mick, Charlton, Montag, and Hamilton to start the second half for Henley. Here's Montag with it. Montag throws it into the hands of Schmerbach, fields a double team in the corner, bounces it to Mick. Mick backs up, tries to go between the defense. Nice move to the rim, kicks it back out to Schmerbach for 3. Can't hit. Rebound is battled for underneath and a whistle. Going to charge the foul, I believe, to Banks. That should be their first. And Henley will keep the basketball. Full shot clock reset as well for the Hornets. Schmerbach to inbound. Schmerbach underneath to Montag. Quick shot rolls off, and the rebound picked up by X-Line. For the Braves to start the third quarter, it is Mayo, Markham, X-Line, Walker, and King. Here's Mayo. Mayo skips it underneath to X-Line. Strong take and score for Braden X-Line. Banks up by 8 with 7:18 to go in the third quarter. Here's Hamilton. Hamilton brings it up, fields a double team, throws it to Schmerbach. Schmerbach driving the right side, outside to Charlton for 3. You bet! Ben Charlton from downtown. And again, like I said, if Henley's not going to get to the free throw line, they got to make these long-range shots. Now back down by 5. 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. Pass goes ahead to Mayo. Mayo loses the ball. It is tipped out, over and back. Possession goes to the Hornets. Again, tight defense at half court. The Hornets have hassled the Braves, and it's worked out for them so far. And they are going to inbound in front of the Hornets bench. Charlton to do it. He'll inbound to the backcourt to Schmerbach. Schmerbach throws it over to Charlton. Charlton on the right wing, throws it to Montag, head of the key. Montag trying to drive in, kicks it into the corner for Schmerbach. Can he do it again? Yes! String music. Reese Schmerbach brings the Hornets within 2. 6:36 to go in the third quarter. Hornets down 28-26. We'll be back with more Hornets basketball on mybasin.com.
When you buy tires at Les Schwab, you're getting more than just tires. You're getting America's best tire warranty, 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tires. So if something happens to your tire on the road, we'll fix it, or we'll replace it, no questions asked. Other places make you pay extra for that kind of protection, but at Les Schwab, it's included with every set of tires, because more warranty means less worry, and nobody stands by their tires like Les Schwab.
Back in the third quarter, the Hornets trailing 28-26, 6:30 to go in the third quarter, and pressing on defense. The Braves try to get the ball up the floor. Here's Markham. He'll cross the timeline. Markham now into the hands of X-Line, throws it far side to Mayo. He'll try to answer with a 3. Front iron, no. Rebound is picked up, and a foul on the putback will send Walker to the line. He'll shoot 2. More free throws coming up for Banks, and as they shoot free throws, again, bring up Henley making these shots from long range. Right now, they actually have more three-pointers made than two-point shots. They've got 6 threes made and only 4 two-pointers made. Well, if they can continue that trend, then they'll be in good shape. Mike Ibarra checks in for Reese Schmerbach. First free throw good at the line for Walker. Rebound is going to have to wait. There's a whistle, and it's going to be a foul against Banks. Split trip to the line for Walker makes it a 3-point advantage for the Braves. And Henley to inbound. They'll skip it ahead to Montag as they try to beat the press. Now into the hands of Charlton. Ahead to Mick. Mick is going to be thrown to the deck, and a foul is called on Banks. Mick tried to split up the double team, and someone hip checked him. We'll see Mayo check out. In comes Jared Martin. Charlton to inbound. He'll get it into the backcourt to Ibarra. And Ibarra will be bringing it up one-on-one against Markham. Beats the light press, now into the front court. Throws it to Mick on the far side. Mick back to Ibarra. Ibarra straight away. Throws it now to Charlton on the left wing. Charlton throws it now Montag in the corner. Skips it back to Hamilton. Hamilton out to Charlton. Charlton has it head of the key. Now to Ibarra. 16 to shoot for the Hornets. Back to Charlton on the left wing. Charlton takes a triple. Front iron, no. Mick with the rebound. He's going to kick it back out to Hamilton. Hamilton tries to spin around at the baseline. Tries to kick it out to Ibarra, but the pass intercepted by Markham. Gets it to Martin. Throws it all the way in. Can't score on the first look. Banks gets the rebound. Back up and in. Walker for 2 points there. Puts Banks back in front by 5. 31-26. 5.5 to go. And Charlton is going to get fouled, trying to bring it up the floor. Charlton favoring his shoulder a little bit, but staying around and back in the ball game. Here's Ibarra off the inbound pass, brings it on the far side. Ibarra loses it for a moment, has it tipped, but picks it up in the backcourt. Now Markham guarding him, throws it to Charlton. Charlton picked up by Markham, dribbling with his left hand, switches to his right, throws it to Ibarra. Ibarra back to Charlton on the wing, now underneath to Hamilton. Hamilton trying to get an elbow shot, dumps it underneath to Montag. A great find and a good score for Bryson Montag's first points of the ball game. 38-21, Henley still trails, 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Here it is, ahead to Walker. Walker over to Martin on the far side. Martin guarded by Mick. Martin has it on the left wing. Now into the corner to Markham. Markham dumps it underneath to Walker, spins around, he'll get fouled, shooting 2. More free throws on the way for Banks, this time for Walker. He is 1 for 2 at the line and has 3 points. Walker's first free throw is in. Finn Charlton will check out. And someone else checked out as well. We'll just reset the full 5 on the floor for you for Henley. It's Jeremiah Brunick, Carson Sims, Bryson Montag, Corbin Hamilton, and Micah Ibarra. And the second free throw is no good. Montag skies up for the board. Throws it ahead to Sims. Sims throws it now to Ibarra, has it head of the key. Ibarra back to Sims. Sims brings it around, head of the key, now into the hands of Mick. Mick whips it to Ibarra on the wing. Ibarra has it poked away for a moment, recollects, finds Mick on the wing. Mick puts it on the deck, fields a double team. Feels pressure to his backside, now to Sims. Sims has it straight away, underneath to Brunick on the left elbow. Brunick is hassled, he'll travel. So turnover gives Banks the basketball and a chance to inbound. 4:20 to go in the third quarter, they lead by 4. Here's X-Line bringing it up for the Braves. Guarded by Sims all the way up, brings it into the front court. X-Line knifes it between his legs, tries to drive right, has it taken away by Montag. Hornets numbers in transition. Montag up, off the glass and in. Montag scores in spurts. And he's got 4 straight points here, brings his team back within 2. Under 4 to go in the third quarter. Here's Martin. Martin has it poked away for a moment by Mick, but recollects now to the hands of X-Line. X-Line guarded by Sims, tries to drive right, goes all the way to the baseline, dumps it underneath to Walker, who scores. Good find underneath by X-Line, leading to the bucket. Here's Sims. Sims will give it back to Ibarra. Ibarra back to Sims. He'll cross the timeline. Sims bouncing it in the corner to Mick. Mick trying to go baseline, bounces it in the corner to Brunick. Now to Ibarra. Sims now left wing 3. Sims got it! 3 triples for Carson Sims. He's got 9 points, and the Hornets trail by 1. 34-33, 3:13 to go in the third quarter. X-Line bringing it up for the Braves. X-Line trying to go left with it against Sims, playing tough defense. Here's Walker, throws it into the corner to Martin. Martin trying to go baseline with it. He'll be fouled. We'll see if this is on the shot or on the floor. It looks like it's on the floor. Got him before he went up for it. And so Banks will inbound, 17 to shoot. And a sub coming in for Henley. Corbin Hamilton coming in for Nolan Mick. Finn Charlton also checking in for Jeremiah Brunick. So we're having a discussion now between the officials underneath the basket. Let's see. Well, we got it all sorted out. Banks to inbound. X-line lofts it straight away to Martin. Martin picked up by Montag close. Back into the quarter to X-line. Tries his luck from downtown and hits. X-line with a first made triple for Banks today. Give him 9 points for the contest. His team back in front by 4. Ibarra crosses the timeline for the Hornets. Throws it to Charlton on the far side. It's batted back out to Charlton. Charlton to Ibarra. Underneath to Montag. Montag kicks it to Sims. Tries to drive right. Bounces it to Ibarra. Ibarra for 3. Got it! Henley having great luck from downtown today, but Banks trying to respond. Here's X-line. Throws it over to Walker. Walker driving inside. Bodies his way to the cup. Misses. And Henley gets the board. Now to the hands of Sims. Trailing by 1. Henley a chance at the lead. Charlton to Montag. Montag goes baseline. Up and in. Hornets lead. 2:03 to go in the third quarter. And a timeout is called. Coach Stock is fired up. I am too. Hornets up by 1. 38-37, 2:05 to go in the third. We'll be back. Henley basketball continues on mybasin.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Josh Eldridge back with you on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com. The Hornets making it rain from long range today. They have made, let's see, I tallied this up, 8 3-pointers in this ball game, only 5 from 2-point range, and they lead by 1. 2 minutes to go in the third quarter, and they're fired up. I said at the top of the broadcast, sometimes all you need is to see one go through. Hornets saw a couple in that first quarter, and they're draining them from distance. If that keeps up, they'll be in good shape. Defense is what the Hornets can count on, though, and they've played well defensively. Carson Sims picks up Brandon X-line at half court. Brings it into the front court now, throws it over to Bigsby. Bigsby dumps it underneath to Walker, and a whistle. This one is going against the Hornets, and so it will be their 4th, I believe. Let's see, maybe this might earn them free throws. Nope, that'll be the 3rd team foul for Henley. And Banks has 4. They'll send Henley to the bonus in the next foul. They create a takeaway. Micah Ibarra picked up the loose ball, and he'll cross the timeline for the Hornets. Ibarra with it into the front court. Throws it to Charlton. Charlton to Ibarra. Ibarra brings it back out. Now Charlton in the corner. Charlton dumps it underneath to Montag. Montag on the right block. Now to Charlton, trying to cut in. Loose ball, picked up by Sims. Sims brings it around in the corner. Back to Charlton. Straightaway 3, can't hit. Montag battles for the board. He's fouled. Montag gets pushed from behind. This should earn the Hornets free throws. This should earn the Hornets free throws. That is 5 fouls for Banks. Well, they had 4 on the scoreboard. Someone must have lost count. Now 4 team fouls apiece. Inbound goes to Brunick. Brunick loses the ball, and it's picked up by Banks. Here's X-line. X-line brings it up, trying to drive right against Sims, then backs back out. Now to the corner to Martin. Martin with it, guarded by Charlton. Back to X-line, fires it across the court to Markham. Now to the hands of Walker. Walker back to Markham in the corner. Throws it to Bigsby. Bigsby to X-line. 17 to shoot for Banks. X-line drives right, has it poked free. Henley takes it away. Outlet pass to Charlton is taken back by Martin. Here comes Banks the other way. Martin brings it out beyond the arc, now tries to drive inside against Charlton. Shot is on the floor, and a blocking foul is going against Charlton. And this will earn free throws for Jared Martin. Martin's first trip to the line, but he does have 6 points all in the first half, trying to give his team back a lead, but first he's got to tie it with this make here. And he doesn't. Still a chance to tie, though, for the junior Jarrett Martin. Finn Charlton's going to check out. Nolan Mick checks back in. Second free throw coming up from Martin. That one's also offline. Rebound is picked up, though, by Banks, and a foul going to be charged to Montag. He tried to poke it out from behind against Walker, but was hit with the foul. So Walker going back to the free throw line. So far, he is 2 of 4 at the penalty stripe, and he's got 6 points. Free throw's no good. Corbin Hamilton checking in for Henley. Jeremiah Brunick heads to the bench. And second free throw is in for Walker. Ties us up at 38 with 46 seconds to go in the third quarter. Bryson Montag brings it up. Montag tries to drive inside, takes it all the way in and scores. Henley leads by 2, 35 seconds. 2 seconds separate shot and game clock. Here's Exline. Exline loses it. He will travel. The Hornets with the final possession of this quarter if they want it. Shot clock is off. 30 seconds to go in the third. Henley leads by 2. Ibarra bringing it up. Ibarra has it head of the key, throws it to Montag on the left wing. Montag between his legs, kicks it out to Ibarra, right side wing. Ibarra dumps it underneath to Hamilton. Hamilton on the baseline, back out to Ibarra. Ibarra driving inside. He is going to get fouled on the drive, and that will earn Micah 2 free throws. And here with 13 seconds to go in the third quarter, Henley finally earning their first free throws of the game. It's the same case yesterday. Just having a hard time getting to the line. We'll see how Micah does now at his first look. So far, he's got 3 points and a made triple this half. Misses the first. Montag and Hamilton check out. Kai Montag and Jeremiah Brunick check in. So Bryson Montag to the bench, Kai Montag in. Ibarra, second free throw offline. Rebound is picked up by Banks, 12 seconds. Here's Martin. Martin guarded by Mick, into the front court. 10, 7. Now Martin driving inside, bodies his way to the rim, and a foul is travel. They're going to say Martin travel on his way to the cup. 3.8 seconds to go. The Hornets can try to get a quick shot off if they can beat the press. And here we go with Fisher King checking in for Noel Mayo for Banks. 3 seconds. Mick to inbound. Mick has to find somebody. Gets it to Ibarra. Ball is going to be tipped out and it will stay with Henley, it looks like. But a second did come off the clock. Henley's going to have to find a quick shot somewhere. Mick to Montag, back to Mick, full court heave, no. 40-38 as we head to the final quarter. The Hornets rallying and hitting them from long range. They're in control heading to the final quarter. More Henley basketball next on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
Comfortable and not corporate. Comfortable and not corporate. At Clown Falls Subaru, we built our business on that simple promise. Well, that and some of the best people you're ever going to meet. Hi, I'm Rob Cedar, General Manager at Clown Falls Subaru. Our 62 employees make it easy for us to live up to our comfortable, not corporate philosophy. Friendly faces, easy answers, straight talk, fairness, and exceptional service. These are the things you expect. These are the things that all of our people deliver. Our management team, sales pros, certified service and body shop techs, lot attendants, and detail experts are all 100% focused on you. Local people putting their friends and neighbors first. At Clown Falls Subaru, that's the only way we do business. It's comfortable, not corporate. Our team members also spend hundreds of hours each year supporting local charities and events through the Subaru Love Promise. That's the kind of people they are. We're very proud of them. They're your friends, they're your neighbors, They're glad to know you, and they want you to be glad to know them too. I'm Rob, and this is what makes
We begin the fourth quarter with Henley leading 40-38. 8 minutes on the clock, and here we go. Banks to start with the basketball. It's into the hands of Mayo in the near corner. Mayo guarded by Mick. Drives all the way in, loses the ball for a moment, but recollects. Mayo has it head of the key, throws it over to Walker. Now to the hands of Martin on the far side. Martin takes a screen left, and a foul is going to be charged to Reese Schmerbach. Schmerbach tried to get in front of Walker on the screen, but, contact results in the foul for Schmerbach. Not a bad foul ultimately. It's a good effort play, but free throws again have been a factor in this one. You don't want to send Banks to the bonus too soon. Here's Martin with it, head of the key. Backs back out beyond the arc. Now over to Mayo on the far side. Mayo head fakes a three, now drives in. Mayo from 10 feet out leaves the lay-in short, and he'll be fouled. And we'll see. I don't quite see who they charged the foul to. Regardless, Noel Mayo heading to the line for two. He was a perfect 4 for 4 in the first half and has 6 points total. That free throw's good. Now a chance to tie us up at 40 for the senior Noel Mayo. Second free throw's good. Tied up at 47.5 to go for the ball game. Montag brings it up. Now to Mick. Mick. Now over to Charlton. Charlton from way downtown. Back iron, no. Rebound is going out of bounds, and so the Banks Braves will have it. Heat check for Charlton there. Thought he was feeling it. He shot that one from about, 23 feet out. Here we go, though. Banks with it. It's Markham bringing it all the way up. Now to Martin. Martin guarded by Charlton. Denies the screen right. Drives left. All the way in and a foul. And again, here you see Jarrett Martin. Big body, fast, doing what the Hornets are seemingly unable to do. Power drive to the cup and draw a foul. They've done it. I mean, the Braves have done it so often today. And again, it's not about officiating. It's not about effort necessarily. Well, I guess Martin is not earning free throws, but same point stands. Just aggressiveness from some of these other teams. Here's Banks on the inbound. Martin has it. Martin kicks it into the corner to Mayo. Mayo guarded by Hamilton closely. Now into the hands of Martin. Martin has it guarded by Ibarra, well beyond the arc. Now over to Walker, back to Martin. Martin back to Walker, picked up by Montag. Lost it underneath to Bigsby, who can't hit the lay-in. And Corbin Hamilton cleans up the miss. Ahead to Ibarra. Ibarra bounces it underneath to Mick. Mick out to Hamilton, straight away. Jab step left, drives right, off the glass. Hamilton can't score. Rebound picked up by Banks. Now Markham. Markham brings it all the way up. Into the hands now of Martin. Martin has it in the right corner. Now throws it over to Walker. Walker on the elbow, throws it back out to Martin. Now on the left side to Markham. Markham now to the hands of Mayo. Mayo fields a double team at half court. Dribbles around it, splitting up the defense. Goes inside. His shot from 8 feet rolls around and falls. Banks has the lead, 42-40. Henley bringing it up. And a turnover. No, pardon me. Ball gets poked out, and Henley maintains possession. Timeout's going to be called by Henley. We'll take it. 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Henley trails by 2, 42-40. More Henley basketball next on mybasin.com.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends. Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
42-40, Banks in front of Henley. 5:58 to go in the fourth quarter. That's where we are. Want to check in on the Lady Hornets taking on Valley Catholic today. Henley is trailing 48-47 to start the fourth quarter there. But here we go. Hornets will start with the basketball coming out of our break. It's Schmerbach, Ibarra, Mick, Hamilton, and Montag on the floor for the Hornets as they try to tie or take the lead. Here's Montag with it. Montag has it poked away from behind. A loose ball. It's a tie-up. Possession arrow is going to favor the Hornets. No, they're going to say actually that that Martin fell on the basketball and traveled instead of a tie-up. Regardless, the ball stays with Henley. Schmerbach to inbound. Schmerbach has to find somebody. It's poked out by Bigsby right in front of us. Possession stays with the Hornets. Schmerbach to inbound again. And a whistle. All right, had an issue with the shot clock, but here we go. Ibarra. Ibarra crosses the timeline for the Hornets. Brings it along the near side. Ibarra now to the hands of Mick. Mick, jab step right, drives left the baseline, kicks it outside to Schmerbach, still on the wing. Schmerbach gets some room inside the paint, outside to Hamilton, now on the right side. Hamilton dumps it underneath to Mick, can't get off the glass to score. Montag with the miss, the follow-up, he's fouled, and one! Henley ties us up at 42. Montag a chance to give his team the lead if he can make the free throw here. Hornets have yet to have a make from the free throw line today. They're 0 for 2. Montag's free throw's good. 43-42, 5.5 to go. Hornets in front. Here's Mayo. Mayo brings it along the left side, spins to his right, loses the dribble, but recollects, guarded by Mick, and a blocking foul against Mick. Trying to get to the basketball. Mayo picked it up and barreled through him. Mick didn't have his feet set, though, so there's your blocking foul. And so now Mayo to inbound for the Braves. Mayo ball high above his head, throws it to Bigsby, who can't finish at the rim. The rebound goes out of bounds, and the Hornets have it. Reese Schmerbach to inbound, gets it to Mick. And Mick throws it to Schmerbach, back to Mick, and Mick will cross the timeline. Mick with it. Mick throws it to Montag in the corner, back out to Hamilton. Hamilton moves right with it along the perimeter, guarded by Bigsby, now to the hands of Ibarra. Ibarra between his legs, back to Hamilton straight away. Hamilton with 20 to shoot, throws it to Schmerbach on the right wing. Schmerbach driving right, goes baseline, tries to get it to Montag, the pass taken away by Banks. Now to the front court to Mayo. Mayo, mid-range jumper's good. That was a nice shot there by Noel Mayo to give his team the lead. 44-43, 4:44 to go in the fourth quarter. And here we go with Nolan Mick. Nolan Mick has his pass tipped away, and then the Hornets get it right back. Ibarra picked up the loose ball. Here Mick with it. Mick has it straight away. Now over to Schmerbach, to Ibarra. Ibarra tries to drive the right side. Martin is going to reach in and foul him. And sub coming in for Banks. To the bench goes Markham, and in comes X-Line. No subs for the Hornets, and Schmerbach to inbound on the far side. No, pardon me. We did see Carson Sims come in for Nolan Mick for the Hornets. Here's Ibarra. Ibarra throws it to Montag on the far side. Montag thought about going baseline, terminates the dribble, has it now, has to kick it outside to Ibarra on the right side. Ibarra dribbles into a triple, high arcing shot too strong. The rebound picked up by Martin. Martin brings it up, trying to get out in transition. Martin goes all the way in and can't hit the lay-in. Battle for the rebound results in a held ball, and possession goes to the Hornets. Hornets with the ball and trailing by 1, 44-43, 4:04 to go in the fourth quarter. Here's Schmerbach up the floor. Schmerbach dumps it to Hamilton at the free throw line. Hamilton spins around, drives to the rim, and one! Hamilton had a big first half with 9 points. These are his first points of the second half, and he gets a free throw to try to put his team in front by 2. Hamilton's free throw is in. Henley up by 2, 46-44, 3:52 to go in the ball game. Henley pressing on defense. Here's Exline trying to beat Sims. Exline goes along the left side. Sims playing tight defense. Now a foul is going to be called against Carson Sims. And now Banks shooting free throws. The rest, no. Is he? They must be. X-Line at the line. They've got the foul count mixed up here in the gym, but X-Line makes his first and a chance to tie it with a make here. Second one is in. Tied up at 46. 3:42 to go in the fourth quarter. Schmerbach with it. Schmerbach on the far side. Kicks it to Hamilton. Hamilton thought about a triple, then thinks twice. Skips it underneath to Montag. Loose ball's picked up by Banks. And Martin with it. Martin jogs across the timeline, now to the front court to Banks. Throws it near side to X-Line, guarded by Sims. X-Line tries to drive right, goes baseline, up with the shot, and Sims is going to foul him. And that might be it for Carson Sims. Let's see. Maybe that's only his fourth. No one getting ready to check in for Henley. A couple free throws coming up for Braden X-Line. Just took a trip and made both of them. Makes his first here. Gives Banks a lead, 47-46. X-Line's second free throw is good. Banks up by 2, 48-46, 3:18 to go in the fourth quarter. Montag bringing it up for Henley. Montag has it on the left wing, hands it to Sims. Sims takes a screen right, then goes back left. Guarded closely by Martin, now into the hands of Hamilton. Hamilton has it, right-hand dribble, drives inside, spins at the free throw line, goes to the cup. Hamilton gets fouled, he'll shoot 2. Big free throws coming up for the young Corbin Hamilton, the sophomore, trying to tie this one up with a couple of makes. Silence befalls the gym here at Sisters, awaiting Hamilton's free throws. He makes the first. Chance to tie it with 3:02 to go for Corbin Hamilton. Got it. Perfect trip to the line for Hamilton, tied up at 48, 3 minutes to go. Here's X-Line, walking up the floor, picked up by Sims at half court. X-Line goes between his legs. Isolation against Sims. Switches to his right. Takes a screen. Kicks it out straight away to Mayo. Picked up by Ibarra. Now trying to go left with it. Gets up with the shot. Tries to use the glass. No. Rebound picked up by Walker and a foul. Foul is on the floor. They're going to charge it to Henley. And more free throws on the way for Banks. Walker today is 2 for 4 at the line. Here's his first. Makes it. Chance to give his team a 2-point lead. Can't hit that one. The rebound picked up by Martin. He goes back up with it and scores. Now Banks up in front by 3. Martin now with 9 points. 8 points for the ball game. Henley trying to answer. Corbin Hamilton, fadeaway jumper. Beautiful touch from Corbin. Brings the Hornets back within 1. 51-50, 2.5 to go. Here's X-Line. Now over to Mayo. Mayo well beyond the arc, picked up by Ibarra. Mayo, jab step right, then goes left with it against Ibarra. Spins around at the left elbow, bounces it underneath. X-line up with the shot, tries to bank it in. No, rebound is picked up by Ibarra. Ibarra brings it all the way in, off the glass, can't score. Martin with the rebound, throws it ahead to X-line, one-on-one in transition. X-line is fouled. Oh, man. Banks every trip up the floor, getting to the line. X-line has made his previous 4 free throws in a row. That gives him 13 points for the contest by my count. And he misses his first. Still a chance to give his team a 2-point lead. And he makes the second. So Banks up by 2, 52-50, 1:55 to go in the ball game. Schmerbach along the far side, into the hands of Hamilton. Hamilton for 3, no. Rebound is picked up by Mayo. Now Banks fires it ahead, inside to Fisher, he will score. Pardon me, that's Fisher King. 54-50, Henley looking for points, a minute and a half to go. Here's Sims. Sims bounces it to Montag. From 8 feet out, Montag scores. 2-point ball game, a minute 20 to go. Banks in front. Here's X-line. X-line has it extended right wing. Dribbles right, picked up by Montag, and a foul. Seemingly the official changed his mind halfway through the call, was ready to give the charging signal, and then decided it was a block. Regardless, Banks back to the line. It's X-line. He was just 1 for 2. First one's good. Banks up in front by 3. A chance to make it a 2-possession ball game. Second free throw hangs on the rim, does not go, but the putback up and in by Fisher King gives Banks a 5-point lead. Henley bringing it up. Here's Schmerbach on the far side. Schmerbach to Hamilton. Hamilton dribbles it up, and a foul away from the ball. And this one's going to go against Banks and should earn the Hornets free throws potentially. It should, yeah. Schmerbach to the line. Schmerbach with 6 points today. Olan made triples. Yesterday, Schmerbach had 6 points. Olan made free throws. Reese's first free throw's no good. Carson Sims checks out. Nolan Mick checks in. Schmerbach at the line. Second one is good, but a lane violation is going against the Hornets, and we're going to have a timeout. Do not count the free throw. Hornets trail by 5. Under a minute to go. We'll be back with more Henley basketball on mybasin.com.
At mybasin.com, we bring you the power of local radio,
The pace and reach of social media,
The information of 24-hour news,
and the excitement of local sports.
We do this with a team of radio professionals that is second to none.
Klamath Falls is a community that we love and a place that we are proud to call home.
Klamath Falls deserves a media group that is as committed to you as you are to Klamath Falls.
mybasin.com is your go-to place for news,
sports, events, and everything going on at home in Klamath.
Hornets trail by 5, 57-52, 59 and a tenth of a second to go. The Hornets will, the Braves will have the basketball coming out of the break, I believe. Schmerbach, a lane violation on his most previous free throw. Let's see. Yes, the Braves will start with the ball. 5 on the floor to try to finish this one out for Henley and steal a victory. It's Hamilton, Ibarra, Schmerbach, Montag, and Mick. And they are pressing. A turnover. Ibarra has it in the paint. Kick it out to Hamilton. To Schmerbach. Thought about a 3. Hamilton in the corner for 3. No, too strong. The rebound is picked up by Mayo. Mayo Trying to drive the right side. Goes all the way in. Euro step to the cup. Can't score. Rebound is batted out and picked up by Hamilton. 36 seconds to go. The Hornets have to be quick, but don't hurry. Here's Ibarra bouncing it out to Mick. He can't corral the pass. Ball goes out of bounds. And the Braves have it. 29 seconds to go. Hornets going to have to foul and send Banks to the free throw line where they've been very comfortable today. We're going to have a timeout on the floor before we can figure this all out. Hornets trail by 5, 57-52, 29 3/10 of a second to go. We'll remind you that today's broadcast on mybasin.com is brought to you in part by Klamath Falls Subaru. Through the Subaru Love Promise and Subaru Share the Love events, Klamath Falls Subaru has donated thousands of dollars to dozens of hometown charities. Comfortable and not corporate at Klamath Falls Subaru. They're on Washburn Way. Stop by and say hi. Hornets' biggest lead today was, I believe, 3 points. Banks led by as many as 8 and now find themselves up by 5. It's been a close contested ball game. The Hornets have hit a fair few three-pointers. The three-pointers have dried up a bit here in the fourth quarter. They've had to rely on a couple of free throws and a couple of tough buckets from Corbin Hamilton. And now, frankly, it's going to take a miracle for the Hornets to get back into this one. They're going to have to hit a three, rely on Banks to miss a couple of free throws. Banks will start with the basketball coming out of this break. Hornets are going to have to do a quick foul and, again, just hope for some misses at the line. Don't have a ton of time to be selective about who you foul. And here we go. Inbound pass goes to X-Line. X-Line is going to race past the press. And a foul after 6 seconds is going to send Max Walker to the line. And Schmerbach checks out. I believe he's done. And Walker to the line. He's got 7 points. Makes his first. Walker's second free throw on the way. That one is no good. Mick with the miss. Henley down by 6. 20 seconds to go. Mick ahead to Hamilton. To Ibarra. Ibarra, mid-range floater is good. Hornets back within 4. They got to foul Martin. They're going to give it to Mayo will be shooting free throws. It's a foul on Sims. And that's 5 fouls for Sims. They're going to have Kai Montag check in. Free throws coming up for Mayo. A perfect 6 for 6 on the ball game at the free throw line. Makes it. Nobody in the box for Banks. They're all going to defend the ensuing possession for Henley with 8 seconds. Second free throw for Mayo is good. And now Banks up in front by 6. They're going to rifle it ahead to Ibarra. Contested 3 falls. And they're going to hold on to it, not inbound before the game is over. Henley loses by 3. 60-57 the final. A tough one to lose for the Hornets, but they played well throughout. We'll recap it for you coming up on the other side. This is Henley Basketball. 104.3 and 960 Sports.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever. Wonder
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Josh Eldridge back with you on mybasin.com and 104.3 and 960 Sports. Final score, Banks 60, Henley 57. It was a good game for Henley and just wound up falling a little bit short in this one. And 0-3 here at the Sisters Shootout in Sisters, Oregon. The Hornets will be back on Tuesday against LaPine. That'll be our next broadcast. Trying to wrap this one up quickly for you as we got to get out of the gym. Next game coming up shortly. If you want details on final scores and all that great stuff, visit us online at mybasin.com. Final score here, 60-57. My name is Josh Eldridge. Hoping you have a fantastic rest of your weekend and saying so long from Sisters, Oregon.